right. So there has been a lot of discussion about Caleb Williams these past few days, specifically regarding this. I think it was a GM for a team or something like that, either a GM or a scout for a team, who said that if Caleb Williams, let's say in the draft with Trevor Lawrence, in the draft with Joe Burrow, he would go ahead of those two. And I'm not gonna lie, that just infuriated me. Not necessarily Joe Burrow, but when it came to Trevor Lawrence, because like you talked about with the word, with the term generational talent, right? And how loosely we use that term when I'm talking about media.
Yeah.
And when Trevor Lawrence came out of college, he was widely considered the best prospect since Luck, arguably the best prospect we've ever seen, because he just fits so many boxes. He checks off so many boxes when it comes to elite arm. He's mobile. His size elite. He has good speed for a QB. He can throw with anticipation. He can make every throw. He fits so many boxes, man. And the fact that a GM or scout would come out and say, "Oh, Caleb Williams in a draft with Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, he would go above those two," it's egregious to me because Caleb Williams, yes, he has Mahomes like traits, but he's not, he's 6 feet tall. Some people say he's not even 6 feet, he might be 5'11. So that right there, that's important. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't take the he likes to go for the home run play a lot. He never goes for the simple, you know, 5 yard route, yada yada yada, right? Like he always goes for the home run play. He has flaws in his game. But because of all of these people that are keep hyping him up, when he gets in the league, I fear that there's going to be too much expectations placed on his shoulders. And I don't want that to happen. And the fact that these idiots are continuously putting all of this expectations on his shoulders when it's not necessary just frustrates me, because Trevor Lawrence, like, it's like people forget. People forget what they were saying about Trevor Lawrence, what media people were saying about Trevor Lawrence. Like the hype was crazy. It was crazy. And I see it now. I see all these analysts, they're trying to already put Trevor Lawrence in like elite status. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, he's a tier 3 right now. Like, what are we doing here? And it's because that's how hyped up he was, where people are still trying to they're still trying to make a case for why Trevor Lawrence was considered a generational talent. Why they're trying to validate what they were saying when
Right.
Trevor Lawrence was coming out of college. And so they're overrating him a little bit. And they now they're forgetting what they said about Trevor Lawrence when they're talking about Caleb Williams now, because he plays like Mahomes. Just because you play like Mahomes doesn't mean you're going to be Mahomes. You know? So
Especially since people forget that Mahomes, who knows what Mahomes would have looked like if Andy Reid wasn't his coach, to get him more in line and get him to play more in structure and stuff
exactly.
like. Who knows what Mahomes would have looked like?
Exactly. Like, there's, oh man. I'm trying to think. Like, I remember there may have been, I forget, I don't know if it was Kyler. I don't know what QB it was that came out and people were like, oh, he played like this guy. And I think it may have been Kyler or something. I don't know. I forget who he's compared to coming into the league. And people are like, oh my God, he's gonna be just as good as this player or whatever. And he comes and Kyler, he's been okay, he's been solid, but I think he hasn't lived up to, I forget. I don't know if it was Russell Wilson. I don't know who it was, but he was compared to some player. And I don't think he hasn't. Kyler's been good, but he hasn't like reached that elite level status like some people have sort of projected him to be. And I think with Caleb Williams, I don't want him to fall into that same trap where it's like he comes to the league and he looks solid, like he shows glimpses of greatness, but he still hasn't reached that elite status yet, and we're still waiting for him. And people saying, "Oh my God, he's not, he's a bust," or "Oh my God, he's so disappointing." Like I don't want that to happen to him. And yeah, just what is your reaction to just the scout slash GM saying that, hey, Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, they wouldn't go ahead of Caleb Williams in the draft. Caleb Williams would go ahead of those two.
Um, I don't agree with half of that. I don't think he goes above Trevor Lawrence. I don't think any QB we've recently seen besides Luck goes above Trevor Lawrence in the draft. You can argue Joe Burrow because you look at that LSU team. Not only were they the best team hands down in college football that year, they're one of the best teams in college football history
Mm-hmm.
on both sides of the ball. They had league dudes everywhere on that roster. So you can make an argument that Caleb could go above because he's doing a lot with less. But as far as him being above Trevor, no, not even close. Uh, I like Caleb Williams. The things that I don't like about his game is stuff that really matters in the NFL. Like we know you can do off script, we know you can improvise and make plays like that. But like you said earlier, can you hit the 5 yard out even though you want to take the deep shot?
Mm-hmm.
Like can you do the small things that's going to give? Because when they played against Colorado, they were able to come back. Colorado was able to come back into the game because Caleb would when he wouldn't take the layup. So
Mm-hmm.
these are the things. That's my biggest concern with him because he needs to get with a good team. That's a good QB coach that will instill like, hey, you need to take what the defense gives you. Because at this level, you keep trying to be superhero, it's not going to work. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason Mahomes was able to get away with it early in his career is he had freaking Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what team he's getting drafted. Probably getting drafted to. I don't even know. But
Bears.
yeah, oh goodness, they gonna ruin that man's career. I hope he doesn't go to the Bears. But
Oh,
yeah, I gotta see him do the simple stuff.
mhm.
We know you can hit the home runs. We know you can like he's the power hitter of QBs.
Yeah, he is. That's a good comparison when it comes to like if you compare him to like one of these guys in the MLB like a Bryce Harper or somebody like that, where it's like, you know, he doesn't he doesn't get a lot of singles, but he'll get home runs for you.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what he is. He's chasing the home runs and not the singles, not the doubles. You know what I'm saying? So he just has to get better at that. I feel like those are one of the things that you could correct pretty easily.
Yes.
Because I think his footwork is pretty good. Like I've watched him, and one of the things that I think it was Dan Orlowski he talks a lot about in terms of like footwork and like pay attention to his feet and how he moves with his feet. And man, like he's really good when it comes to moving his feet, making sure that his feet is constantly moving. It doesn't seem like it's always like in an awkward position when he's throwing the football. And so that's one thing that I really like about Caleb Williams is that his feet it looks like it's always in the right position when it needs to most. Even in the most awkward looking throws, he's able to still position his feet in a way where he can get the throw off um at the right spin, at the right trajectory. And so I like that about Caleb Williams a lot. And that's one of the reasons why he's one of the best QBs we've ever seen in recent memory because of that, because of his feet, because of his ability to make off script throws, to be able to make throws moving the other direction and throwing his sidearm. Like that's the Mahomes like throws. And so I just think it's unfair for him to be compared to Trevor Lawrence. Like he's just 6'6", can run a 4.5, 4.6. The dude is athletic. He won a national championship. He's been to 2 national championships. Like it's just not fair.
Yeah, they
It's
putting
just
too
not
much
fair.
on him.
Right. And then Trevor Lawrence, when he came out of college, when his first year, he struggled
Big
because of
time.
because of Urban Meyer, because of the system that he was in. So if Caleb Williams goes to a similar environment, what are we gonna say about Caleb Williams? Oh, he's a bust. Oh my God, he sucks. Like that's what I'm concerned about. And so pump the brakes. I do think he's a better prospect than Joe Burrow, although Joe Burrow has the size, but and he's very accurate and he's good at throwing with anticipation. But overall, I think yeah, Caleb Woods. If you want to say he's better than like Joe Burrow, if you want to say he's a better prospect than Kyler Murray, then go ahead. But Trevor Lawrence, people were hyping up Trevor Lawrence. Let's not forget about that.